Stronger than I've ever felt aerobically. So again, it gets back to that macro level view of where now, like I never dreamt. Diving right into the studio today, everyone, talking about macro level endurance development for runners. And the reason we're diving right in and not doing any outside filming is because tomorrow's a big day. A big, big day. If you saw it on Twitter, I posted on Twitter this morning and also on Strava. Today, when you're watching this, I'm going to do my first FKT attempt of 2020, which actually connects to the conversation about endurance development. So fastest known time, that's what FKT stands for. And yes, I'll just let you know right now, it's gonna be an attempt at running the Boulder Skyline Traverse. All right, Boulder, Colorado, very famous running spot in the United States. It has 5 peaks just to the west, not big peaks, not 14,000 foot mountains, but 5 peaks just to the west of the little city. It's where I went to college. And so I've never done this run before where you can start either on the south end or the north end and you connect all 5 peaks. It's point to point. So I'm gonna start, I'm guessing around 7 a.m. Wednesday when you're watching this. What is it gonna be? May 13th, I believe. Yeah, May 13th. So it's gonna be fun, stay tuned. And so therefore this vlog needs to be a little shorter. I'm gonna try and keep it concise because I gotta go in and edit. Oh yeah, and we're gonna get an update from True Love Tuesdays. Okay, we'll get an update on how the training went for True Love over the past 7 days. Sound good? That's the game plan for today. Aerobic development, long-term, that zoomed out 30,000 foot view. That's what we're talking about when I'm talking about aerobic development, endurance development in today's vlog. Okay, but first, today's run, and the reason I'm excited, one of the reasons I'm excited about the FKT attempt tomorrow is because my legs feel good. So the goal today in the Nike Pegasus 37s, we are now officially over 50 miles, so full review coming very soon for the Pegasus 37. But today's run, I wanted to keep the pace at Steezy pace. What is my Steezy pace? You know, 8 minutes a mile, right around there, that range, right around 8 minutes a mile. Well, in the Peg 37s today, 10 miles around the streets of Denver, I was unable to keep it at 8 minutes a mile. It ended up being, I think, right around 720 or 725 per mile. So what does that pace tell me for the 10-mile run today is that my legs feel so good and my breathing was so under control that I am ready to go put out a really hard effort tomorrow. So the FKT is going to be about 17 to 18 miles approximately with over 5,000 feet of vertical gain. We're ready to rock and roll. Now listen, I'm not in like racing shape by any means, but that's the beauty. That's the beauty of continuing to fight for your fitness every single day is because during these crazy times of COVID-19, we can still put forth a really hard effort even though we're not in a race environment through these FKT attempts, through these, you know, if you're chasing down some of your personal records like Strava segments or even time trials wherever you might live. Now, as we kick off this discussion about macro level endurance development, I'm going to read a question that I posted on the Facebook page, which is listed down below, in case you want to connect there. I said this maybe like 2 days ago and got over 140, I think, answers to this question. And yes, it is today's question of the day. So I posted this. I said, what is your top race that you would like to qualify for in the next 2 to 3 years? Any distance, hashtag goals. You know how I'm very goal oriented in my running, whether it's annual goals or long-term goals. Now for me and my running goals, I break them down into 3 segments. My annual running goals, so every calendar year, which I have 6 for 2020. I won't go over them right now because I've already done it twice on the vlog, but you can go watch. I'll try and post it right there, upper right-hand corner. The second segment is my 2 to 3 year goals, okay? So that would put us at 2022, 2023, okay? And then, yes, the last segment, my 10-year goals, the decade goals, okay? Why do I have decade goals? Because I know how long it takes to develop that aerobic endurance. Okay, so here are the goals that really jumped out at me on Facebook and that were probably the most prominent. The 2 most prominent were definitely the Boston Marathon and UTMB, okay? Then also another one that jumped out was Badwater. And then a couple high schoolers posted Foot Locker. I love that. So chasing down that fast 5K time in high school So those were the goals that jumped out at me on Facebook. Now, what is actually happening inside our bodies when we approach our training from that macro level view, meaning that aerobic development over years and years and years, okay? And in addition to the long term, I'm also gonna add consistency. Why do I say that? Because in college, I had a lot of injuries. So my training, frankly, wasn't very consistent. And now I graduated in 2010. It's 2020. This is all coming full circle. So I've had a decade of training under my belt since college, and I feel frankly stronger than I've ever felt aerobically. So again, it gets back to that macro level view of where now, like I never dreamt that I'd be even, approaching a 2:20 marathon. And I got a ways to go, but I do believe I will get there if I have that macro level view to my aerobic development, and if I can be consistent in my training, meaning avoiding injuries, taking breaks when needed, but not a month off or 3 months off or 6 months off. You know what I mean? Anyway, just wanted to add that, like that just came to me, that decade since college. So the goal of aerobic development over the long haul is to train our bodies to deliver higher concentrations of oxygenated blood at a higher rate from our lungs to our muscles, okay? That is the long-term goal. And by taking this macro level approach to your aerobic training, number one, you're increasing the volume of blood in your body, all right? That's number one. Number two, you're increasing the stroke volume of your heart. Did you know your left ventricle, which is actually doing the pumping, where it actually pumps the blood out into your body, that left ventricle in your heart is literally increasing in size over the long haul though, okay? This is not a short-term proposition, over the long haul. And the strength of the contraction also increases the more aerobic training you do. Isn't that amazing? Like that just blows my mind. So that's number two. You're increasing the red blood cell count, especially when you're doing altitude training, okay? That's why the best marathon runners and even ultra marathon runners in the world, they often are training at altitude. And just so you know, the red blood cells are the actual cells that are carrying the oxygen from your lungs out to your muscles, okay, throughout your body. So they're the delivery drivers of that oxygen. Critical to increase the red blood cell count in your body. And last but not least, for what we'll talk about today, we could go on and on, but for the benefits that you receive from this long-term aerobic training macro level is an increase in the size and density of mitochondria and capillaries throughout your body. And the mitochondria are considered the powerhouse of your cells throughout your body. And then the capillaries are the actual blood vessels, which it just blows my mind that they can grow and increase and improve through aerobic training. But these capillaries help deliver this oxygenated blood out to your muscles, okay? And now these 4 points, and listen, we could go on and on with the benefits that we receive from aerobic training, but we're gonna leave it there for now. But those 4 points is why I'm always stressing and talking about patience as long distance runners. And a shout out to all the new runners out there. If you just discovered running, welcome to the running world. It just takes time. Time plus consistency equals improvement in your running, I promise. But you gotta have both, okay? And not just we live in a world where we can click a button and a box from Amazon shows up not only the next day but sometimes like 2 hours later at our house. Or what is another, it's just like we have a lot of instant gratification in our culture. But as long distance runners, it just, based on the research I've done and just off of experience, it just doesn't work like that. So long-term approach. And once again, question of the day, what is your top race that you would like to qualify for in the next 2 to 3 years? Any distance, okay? And yes, I hope what I shared today gives you a little more background and perspective as to how I approach my goals in racing and my training, okay, in order to chase down those goals. Even though I did not hit 219 over the last 9 months, 219 for the marathon, I actually do believe I'm gonna get it. It might take 18 months, it might take 2 years, it might take 3 years, I don't know. But I do believe I will get it because I believe in that macro level endurance development, okay? Sound good, everybody? Hi, hon. Here we go. Week 2 in the books.
I did so good.
How did you do, hon?
I did so good. I walked Okay, pause.
I think it was 5.
5 times.
I think it was
for
5.
over 40 minutes each time.
Yeah.
Which, you guys,
Big deal.
that's a big deal.
With 4 boys
Yes.
to manage.
Thank you very much. This is, and every time, if you put it off, then it's like, oh, I'm too tired, or I don't want to go today, or today will be my off day. But you just go. You just lace up and go.
Rock and roll. And one of the days, I believe, were right at an hour. So you went further than you needed to.
Yeah,
so,
I did. That's
so
true.
that was good work.
Yeah, and I took, yeah.
So so week 2 in the books.
Week 2 in the books.
About to start week 3,
Oh my gosh, I feel
5K training. And this week, we're going to hit 7 days.
Okay, yeah, we're working our way up.
7 days of walking, so every day. And then next week gets real exciting, beginning the jog.
Whoa.
That'll be, and True Love has started, her weeks on Tuesdays for training.
Yeah, that's Tuesday to Tuesday.
Just makes it easier.
Yeah, it is easier, because this is the updates. This is like accountability.
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
and base, boom, boom.
And how are you feeling? How's the legs?
I gotta tell you, I feel great. I don't notice crazy amounts of change in my body, but I notice when I get back from my walk how good I feel in those moments.
Yeah.
It's always, actually, Sethy just said, Mama, because they were fighting and I was getting fussy at them. I was like, guys, figure it out. I'm taking these sticks away. They're fighting over sticks they got. Sticks. And Sethy was like, Mama, remember how whenever you go on your walk, you always feel better afterwards?
So that is the medicine. That is the medicine. Go out, get those endorphins flowing.
Yes.
Get the, the heart pumping.
Yes.
And you just feel better.
It just makes a big difference for the day.
So, and today's vlog is all about aerobic development over the long term.
Oh,
so
I like that.
we're taking the patient approach.
Yes.
5Ks.
The base, the foundation.
Setting the foundation
That's
of
what he
your
says.
pyramid. Right. So there you
This
go.
is my 5K training vlog. Week 3.
Week 3. All right, everyone. We're calling it there.
That's it.
That is the vlog, Boop Elbow. And we love you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And we'll toss it back to last week's. We'll toss it back to last week's Tuesdays with True Love check-in. Last week's Tuesdays with True Love check-in.
I am really liking
So-
this, people. Thank you.
So good
Thanks for
work.
being there.
Boom. Onward and upward.
proud.
All right, Elbow.
Boom.
See you later.
Ciao. Bye.